at exactly 3:17 a.m. on September 28, 2025. Something crossed the line. For weeks, astronomers had been tracking the interstellar object known as 3I-ATLAS, but that night it broke every prediction ever made about it. Telescopes from Hawaii to Chile recorded an impossible surge in its velocity from 150,000 to over 160,000 miles per hour, as if something had just switched on inside it. The data came in like a heartbeat, a pulse. Steady and precise, repeating every 17 minutes. No comet has ever done that before. And then it began to glow. Not reflected sunlight, not gas or dust, but a light from within green, alive and unexplainable. That was the moment NASA's tracking systems froze, instruments overloaded, and for the first time since Oumuamua, silence filled every control room, because whatever 3I-ATLAS is, it just woke up. For most people, 3I. Atlas is just another name, floating through headlines. But for scientists, it marks the third chapter in a story that began years ago with two other visitors that came before it. The first was Oumuamua. Detected in 2017, a strange cigar-shaped object that slipped through our solar system like a ghost. The second, Borisov, in 2019, looked more like a traditional comet, but its chemical makeup was unlike anything ever seen. And now, the third one, 3I-ATLAS. Only this time, it's behaving in ways no natural object ever should. Its path through the solar system is nearly perfect, a razor-straight line, gliding almost exactly along the ecliptic plane. Astronomers call it the perfect plane. It passes the outer planets as if following a pre-drawn route, calculated with impossible precision. And strangely, it seems to be aiming for something, Mars, the red planet. Then, something happened that no one expected. As 3I-ATLAS moved closer to Mars, telescopes picked up a sudden change, not in its orbit, but in its color. Within hours, the object shifted from a deep, rusty red to a vivid green, bright enough to be seen even through mid-range amateur telescopes. Scientists at the European Southern Observatory were stunned. Comets don't just change color overnight, especially not like this. The usual culprit behind a comet's green hue is dicarbon, a molecule that glows when exposed to sunlight. But spectral data from the James Webb Space Telescope showed almost no trace of dicarbon at all. Instead, it revealed a strange mix: high carbon dioxide, traces of nickel, and faint cyanogen emissions. Yet none of these explain the eerie, pulsating green glow now radiating from 3I-ATLAS. To some, it looked almost alive, as if the comet wasn't reflecting light, but creating it. That discovery sent shockwaves through the scientific community. For the first time, data from multiple observatories didn't just disagree, they flat out contradicted each other. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory released a statement saying the object's readings were inconsistent with known cometary activity, but just hours later, the data feed from the same sensors showed the exact opposite. Some astronomers began whispering about instrument interference. Others went further, suggesting that something might be controlling the readings themselves. Data from NASA's Deep Space Network showed rhythmic spikes in brightness every 17 minutes. Perfectly timed. A few scientists called it coincidence, but a few others didn't. One internal memo, later leaked online, described the signal as mechanical in pattern, biological in rhythm, and that's when the real fear began. They called it the pulse code, every 17 minutes. 3. I. Atlas emitted a faint flash, too weak to be visible to the naked eye, but powerful enough to register across deep space monitoring systems worldwide. The flashes were identical in duration and strength, spaced with surgical precision, not random, not noise. A team at Harvard Center for Astrophysics began cross-checking the pattern with archived radio signals. The result, a perfect match with one of astronomy's greatest mysteries, the 1977 WOW signal. For decades, that signal had no explanation. Now, almost 50 years later, something out there was repeating it, pulse for pulse. Some scientists dismissed it as coincidence, but others whispered a different theory. What if the WOW signal wasn't just a message, but a countdown? And if that's true, then 3I-ATLAS isn't just passing by. It's responding. From that moment, the scientific community split in two. One side insisted the phenomenon was natural, a volatile outburst, gas jets, or some unknown chemical reaction beneath the comet's crust. The other side believed something far more deliberate was happening. The pattern was too clean, the rhythm too steady, and the trajectory too perfect to be random. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, known for his bold theories, proposed that 3I-ATLAS might be a functional probe using sunlight as a power source and data carrier. His words were met with outrage and fascination alike. Some called it genius, others called it science fiction, but no one could ignore the evidence. 3I-ATLAS was acting more like a spacecraft than a comet. The two theories couldn't be more different. One claimed chaos, the other precision, yet both agreed on one thing. Whatever this object is, it's not ordinary. By late September, a new anomaly appeared. This time, in its trajectory, the path of 3I-ATLAS began to defy the models again, shifting ever so slightly but not randomly. Instead of drifting freely, the object moved in a line so precise, it stunned NASA's navigation analysts less than 1 degree off the solar plane. They called it the perfect plane. It wasn't just traveling through space, it was navigating it. When plotted across weeks of data, its course revealed something impossible, a deliberate curve that brushed past Jupiter, skimmed Mars, and neatly bypassed Earth. That's not a comet. One mission analyst reportedly said, "That's a flight path." The room fell silent, because deep down, everyone knew nature doesn't draw straight lines. But the most unsettling part was yet to come. As 3I-ATLAS continued toward the inner solar system, its trajectory aligned for something rare, a perfect conjunction with the Sun. On October 3rd, 2025, it will slip directly behind the Sun from Earth's point of view, vanishing completely from every telescope, radar, and camera for 48 days. Humanity won't see it. We'll be blind, staring into sunlight, while 3I-ATLAS hides in plain sight. Astronomers call this period the solar blind spot. It's when even our most advanced instruments can't detect what passes behind the Sun, and that's what scares scientists most, because if 3I-ATLAS is capable of altering its course or doing anything, this will be the moment to do it. Once it crosses behind the Sun, no one will know what it's doing. Or if it ever comes back the same, as 3I-ATLAS slips behind the Sun, Earth will fall silent but not idle. Across NASA and ESA control rooms, preparations are already underway for what comes next. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has been recalibrated to capture the object's return. Aiming its high-resolution high-rise camera toward the red planet's orbit. Meanwhile, the Psyche mission, originally designed to study a metallic asteroid, could cross paths with 3I-ATLAS's projected route in early November. And far beyond, ESA's JUICE probe, on its journey to Jupiter, may glimpse the object as it departs the inner solar system, perhaps for the last time. These missions together form what NASA informally calls the future window, a rare alignment of instruments all waiting for a single event. Because if 3I-ATLAS emits its own light again, if it pulses the way it did before, humanity will know. And when that happens, one question will define the next chapter of this story. Did we just witness a comet or a signal? Either way, we won't have to wait long, because the countdown has already begun. Maybe it's just ice and dust, a frozen traveler, drifting across the void, obeying. No one seen for a moment, then gone forever. Or maybe it's something else. Something built to remind us that the universe is watching too. 3I-ATLAS could be a comet, or a craft, or maybe a mirror showing us how little we truly understand. In the end, it's not just about what 3I-ATLAS is, but what it reveals about us, our fear, our wonder, our need to believe there's more beyond the dark. If you want to see what happens when it re-emerges, subscribe and stay on watch.